Hi, folks. This is Chad at Apsona. I wanted to talk a little bit about multi-step reporting and pulling in multiple child objects to a single parent in a specific way. And I just want to talk a little bit about the layout and some of the complications that people come across. Um, so here we are in a multi-step report. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about the structure of multi-step reports. We've got support articles to handle that. But what I have here really simply is a count step as our first step. I'm pulling in just name and ID. And I have a tiny filter on here just to get a couple of test records, but that's nothing consequential. And then I have a second step where I'm pulling in opportunity fields. So I got name, amount, and then I need my lookup field in order to link back to the top step. My linkage is account ID equals account lookup. And when I run it, I should get a list of accounts and opportunities as you'd imagine. So we have a single account here with multiple opportunities, and then we move to the next account, multiple opportunities. There's blank space here, which is the standard way that Apsona will display these to kind of indicate that this one parent has these multiple opportunities. I can optionally choose this autofill previous step data. When I do that, what's going to happen is the account name will repeat to fill in the blanks, so that we know that this opportunity is with this account. So for example, if I were to export this without this repeating nature, then I would have some in Excel, it'd be a little bit hard maybe if I were to do some pivot tables or something. So this repeats the data so that we can have it kind of in line in the row. Account IDs, or sorry, just ID fields will not repeat. That's just part of the Apsona construction. You can always choose to remove that from the layout. There we go. Now it looks a little cleaner. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. I'm going to go back to edit. I'm going to pull this out and save it. So now let's talk about adding another object. So let's say we want to not only see the opportunities related to the accounts, but we want to see the contacts related to the accounts in the same report. Now, these contacts are going to have nothing to do with the opportunity step. So I'm not linking the contacts to opportunities. I'm linking them back to the first step of the account. So I'm going to type in contact. I need to get my account lookup field so that I could link properly. We'll do that first. And then I'll add name, get the full name in there. That's good enough. Okay, and I'm not going to filter it because I'm already filtering my accounts. So I'm going to get any contacts that are related to the accounts that are coming in the first step. And I'm going to get opportunities as well. And I think we're in good shape. Let's go ahead and save and run this. Okay, all right. So what do I see here? I see one of our sample accounts that has these opportunities, and there's no contacts. So that tells me that this account has no contacts. This one has opportunities, no contacts. This one has three opportunities and two contacts. Now it starts to get a little confusing. I see my account, I see an opportunity, I see a contact, and then I see this blank line that has no opportunity, and I see another contact, and then it goes back to opportunities. So what's going on? Um, I'm not a developer team expert, so I don't know exactly how the code's running. But what I think is happening here is that the tool kind of runs in a somewhat of a chronological manner, and it goes through each step and then kind of comes back and continues to go through each step. So it finds the account, finds an opportunity, looks for contacts, sees two, sticks them in, and then kind of comes back and keeps repeating. So I think what we just need to know here is that um, there's no significance to the fact that there's an opportunity on this row and a contact on this row because these two steps, contact and opportunity, are not related to each other. So this Burlington employee has nothing to do with this opportunity, but it does have to do with this account. That's why the contact's not at the top because it's related to this particular account. Um, and this gap is just something that happens with the way that these reports lay out. And so we just have to recognize that that's what's going on. And I'm going to further exemplify that kind of gap concept with adding another row or another object. So I'm going to come back. Now I'm going to say, let's find out how many cases are related to an account. Case. Okay. And looks like we have a lookup to account here. I'm going to use the link. And I'm going to just get the subject. Okay. All right. We already linked. Let's go. Okay, so let's roll down to our key test document here. So we have our account, we have an opportunity, we have an employee, but now the employee is separated and we get cases. So this kind of further shows how this code just kind of goes from left to right, and it grabs a record, goes to the next step, grabs the record, goes to the next step. And I think because it's not seeing another step after these cases, it finishes laying them all out, and then it comes back and it puts the next contact in, and then it comes back and looks for the next opportunities. So if we continue to add objects, we would continuously see each previous step kind of opening up and letting the next step run until it gets to the last step that has records, and it just fills them all in. So I think what's important to note here is that the multi-step report is doing its job. It's saying, here's the ops related to the account, here's the context, here's the cases. But the way that it's building the report can be a little hard to decipher. And I just wanted to kind of talk through, why we're seeing that. Sometimes, so I guess another piece to say here is that it's not possible to force this particular record here, these two, to push them up to be right here, and then to take, this and to push it up, and then to have these. So to get them all to be without break, Apsona's multi-step tool just can't do that. So you're getting the data, it just has a little bit of a gap. Some people have tried to edit this and put in this autofill, and it does start to get a little confusing. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting in the autofill like we did previously, and it kind of works up to a point. Um, but let's like open this up a little bit here. It starts to get a little confusing. So we are seeing this last account record repeat, which seems right because all these child objects are under this one account and it's repeating the name. But then if we look over here, we have an opportunity name. And that, remember that earlier we had the first one and then a gap. Well, now it's just repeating the first one over and over again, which can start to feel confusing to people because then it kind of artificially indicates a relationship between this opportunity and these contacts. And then you'll see it moves from this to a new opportunity and another opportunity. And then the same thing happens here with the contacts. We have the first contact, and instead of a gap to allow these cases to pop up, it repeats that first contact until it gets to the next one. So I think when you're not doing a hierarchical or cascading relationship, and what I mean by that is you're not saying cases are related to contacts, contacts are related to ops, ops are related to accounts. We're not doing that here. We're aligning every step to the first step. When you're doing that, I think you're going to have a little bit clearer of a report if you keep this checkbox unchecked. And we'll run it. And the biggest consequence that's negative here is we get this gap, but the data is accurate. It's under the right parent. It's just spreading out to allow for the other records to show up. Okay, I hope that's helpful. I thought it was just a good idea to kind of say all that out loud so people can understand when they see these gaps in their records. All right, thanks.